Hillary Clinton officially kicking off her run for president a short time ago in New York with about a 46-minute speech. Thousands gathered to hear her make that first major campaign speech of 2016. Brian Yennis was there to hear it as well. Brian, what'd you say? What stuck out?
Hi, Leland. Well, Hillary Clinton just got off the stage where she's now kind of still meeting with people. A few thousand people here at Roosevelt Island, New York City. Of course, named after President Franklin D. Roosevelt. That's significant because it's someone she had mentioned she admires for the New Deal. And that is obviously the president's moves on getting the country out of the Great Depression back in the 1940s. So significant that she's having it here. She was a senator here. She touched on a multitude of different issues, which she calls the four big fights of her campaign. One, really the economy for tomorrow, fighting for strengthening our families, the national security threats out there, and as well what she calls unaccountable money that's disturbing our political process in Washington. But she really hit on her economic message today, which was about really everyday Americans. She says that top-down economics pushed by Republicans is something that has really hurt us, and that she is standing for prosperity for all. Take a listen to what she said.
Now it's time, your time, to secure the gains and move ahead. And you know what? America can't succeed unless you succeed. That is why I am running for President of the United States.
Hillary also speaking about the threat of climate change, the need for equal pay, LGBT rights. She touched on a multitude of different issues, but the economy was up first and foremost. Also joining her on stage, President Bill Clinton, her husband, and her daughter Chelsea. That is the first time that the family has been together at a campaign event since she announced in April. Now, really, the big question is the campaign is sticking to really the same thing they stuck to in 2008, talking about how she's a fighter, not a quitter, a champion for everyday Americans, and bringing up her personal story. Today, she mentioned her mother Dorothy and how she inspired her to become a fighter. This is the same kind of thing we heard in 2008, and critics say, well, if that was a failed strategy, could it work again now? One of the many questions we'll be seeing. But again, we expect Clinton to head to Iowa after today's event tonight. Will she also go to New Hampshire, Nevada, and South Carolina? And she's expected to talk to bigger crowds and get more into those policy discussions, and as well as answer some questions from the press, which she's been getting a lot of heat for. Leland?
Indeed, Brian. Want to add, before you go, want to get a sense of how many people were there. Obviously, it was a very well-staged event. The optics were well done, well attended, or did it seem to have fewer attendees than they thought they would on this hot day?
Well, they had an overcapacity area here where they had set up for just the overcrowd, and that section was completely empty today. They were expecting up to 5,000 people. There were not 5,000 people here because that overcrowded area was completely empty. The crowd was here. It seemed pretty moderate in size, considering what you saw from Martin O'Malley's rallies in Baltimore. It was very, kind of modest, to be quite honest with you, but they were here waving their flags on what is a very brutally humid and hot day. She spoke for 48 minutes, but a crowd again, a few thousand people, Leland.
A few thousand people there. We'll see how many folks show up when she hits the road. Brian Yennis, enduring the heat and the humidity in New York. We appreciate it, sir. Thanks.